All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Sam. I'm Chalice and Chains on the internet, and we are being hosted by Roleplay Cafe, of which Dell is one of the owners, gods, whatever, so to speak. So thank you for that. Um, we will be playing Edge of the Empire, the Fantasy Flight game, Star Wars role-playing game, and we're not going fancy or anything. We're just, we're going to use some real dice, but we are choosing to play over Discord, just kind of having some fun. And so I will recap. This will actually be session 2. And this is Edge of the Empire set right now on the Smuggler's Moon of Nar Shaddaa. Although Obi-Wan Kenobi claims that Mos Eisley Spaceport is the place where you will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy, he clearly has never been to Nar Shaddaa because that is the very definition of scum and villainy. And last time we found our heroes or anti-heroes or
Not
whoever
really.
they are running for their very lives, fleeing some smugglers, or a crew, I should say, of the smuggler captain Corta Voss, of which they stole some data pucks, I believe, with some very valuable information. And they proceeded to run to and fro through the the spaceport. At one point, even I think maybe hopping into a airspeeder, creating all kinds of chaos and mayhem, and blowing up some bikers with a incredible hacking job from Griff the Slicer, maneuvering away while being targeted by Corta Voss herself in a Z-95 headhunter fighter, as they were in a normally droid captained airspeeder. And they finally managed to evade her and make it to the spaceport, where they discovered that their ship was basically under lockdown. So the Star Wars equivalent of the boot, right? As yeah, as you know, they have
physical gravity boot. I think I saw that.
It does, yeah. So it basically has like a gravity. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's basically like a mechanism that clamps it down. Yeah, and so it's possible that you might be able to overcome it, but it could do serious damage to the ship. So, and the only way to really remove it, other than spending many hours with heavy tools to try to physically remove it, would be to use the computer to electronically remove it. So the party has decided that getting off of Nar Shaddaa before Corta returns with maybe some of her or some other crew, or getting into some other trouble, might be advised. And so they've made their way to the spaceport, and discovered that the entrance to their particular area, and the way that I kind of conceptualize this is that each spaceport maybe has like a little like cluster of maybe like 3 or 4 landing bays with like a central terminal, which would be the command and control center. And so they found their ways there, and they realized that the entrance to this facility was guarded by 2 spaceport security droids. And that's where we left off last time. Now, last time when we rolled our obligation, Griff's stim junkie, his addiction obligation was rolled. And so, Michael, you're muted, by the way.
No, it was my adrenaline.
Yeah. You're adrenaline junkie, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're adrenaline junkie, which he played off well as being addicted to stims, so he was a bit hyper. With all of the chaos that's ensued and the maybe possibly near-death experiences, he's chilled a little bit. His stim He's come down a
sobered
little
up.
bit. Yeah. As that is not weighing as heavily on his mind. And Michael, mechanically, if you haven't already, you can remove 2 strain from your strain threshold because you are no longer under the strain from that obligation. But Del Barada is under obligation from or strain from your betrayal. And so actually, before we officially jump into the action, if Del, if you have an idea of what is weighing on Barada's mind right now, what was this betrayal? In as much or as little detail as you want to share, and we can kind of roll it in.
Yeah, what I've seen, I suppose in real time, is that my close confidant, since I am a bodyguard, as it were,
Yep.
for Gort the Hutt, I worked in concert with Nikto, so he was privy to my situation that went down, and he ultimately, as far as I'm concerned, to gather more credentials with the job and then oust me. He let some information be known about me, which made me go on the run at that point. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it was too hard for me to stick around, and I may have seen him locally since he works in the same capacity.
Okay. And you said he was a Nikto as well?
I mean, that's his name. No, he's a Glatunian as well.
Oh, his name is Nikto. Okay.
Oh, can I have a quick rundown on what a
Glatunian Barada
is?
Nikto.
Yeah.
What is a Glatunian? Is that because I thought I heard you. Are you like a dog?
Yeah, you like remember?
Well, yeah.
Remember when Luke dropped into the pit
dog.
and the 2 guards?
No, sorry, I'm very not caught up.
Oh, really?
Michael hasn't seen enough Star Wars, even though I keep telling him he needs to.
I'm trying. They're so old, though.
They're great. You just have to
so
get to the action.
I can agree.
We're
great,
so old too, and you're giving us a chance. So,
I mean,
yeah,
I like
true.
TTRPGs.
Michael, when your dad tells you something and it's old, you say it's classic.
Classic,
vintage.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of is old now.
It is.
I mean,
it is. But
it's classic.
Smells
for
like
1977, it was one of the best vintage movies of all time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, I think that Del, perhaps what happened was as we were kind of coming into the spaceport, right? You like it's because this is Nar Shaddaa, maybe Nikto knew that you were there.
Yeah.
And I think maybe what happened was the reason you guys saw this, the reason that your ship is under lockdown right now is because he actually said. So you saw on like the little data pad or whatever that it was called in by Nikto, who said that you guys were suspected of murder and other criminal activities. And so Spaceport Authority wants to hold you until they can question you.
I'm telling you, he's a thorn on my
so
side.
he's directly involved in trying to keep you here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, he may be trying to hunt me down, too.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, so we'll have the but anyway, as kind of the little like droid camera, so to speak, if we're doing the cinematic, version, right, zooms in on the bustling spaceport, and we would see we would see Dax kind of, it would like zoom around, right, as Dax was kind of thinking possibly of maybe we don't need as much shooting or droid death this time. Perhaps he can smooth talk his way past these guards. At least if I remember correctly, that was what you were saying last time. Is that
Yes,
right?
we discussed
Yeah.
a couple of possibilities. It's either we sneak in by some ventilation
Yeah.
vents or something, right? Or
Right.
we talk our way in because we believe
Yep.
that if we can get Griff to a computer terminal in there, maybe he can do something. Or otherwise, we could probably talk
Yeah.
to whoever's in charge
Yep.
and see if we can bluff our way out of the spaceport, right? Maybe get somebody
Right.
to deactivate the
Or
gravity
drive
clamp.
with our
Yeah.
75 credits.
Oh, the docking
Yeah,
clamps. That's what they were called. Docking clamps, I
docking
guess.
clamps. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. We have our spaceport security droids, of course. Now, so basically at this point, oh, and I do believe that you had discovered that there was like an additional way the into the docking port. There was like a side entrance, but the problem was that it was slightly difficult to get to. And if you wanted to try to use that as a bit of a last resort, you certainly could try, but it was maybe not the easiest to get into. So, as it stands right now, you three are there kind of at the big entrance where the hangar bay doors would open to admit you into the kind of central pod, and the central pod would be kind of housed like an administrative office, a control room, and then like a little waiting room where you might wait if your ship is being refueled or whatever, right? And so, but flanking that door is two security droids, and then you know that on the inside there would be a number of people involved, including the spaceport administrator, who would kind of oversee the whole thing. So you have two immediate obstacles, and then your third obstacle would be releasing that docking clamp and getting off
Build this
planet.
cat on my life.
Yes, well, the space cat is also there to further complicate your life. So, Michael, all your rolls have an additional one setback dice now.
No, Charlie.
Black cat, black dice. That's how it goes.
He bit
So,
my arm, and now I'm gonna explode, I think.
yeah, if you get the cat scratch fever, that will know.
Yeah.
So,
He's so
you
cute.
guys are presented with this situation. How do you want to proceed?
So I huddle up to the other two and say, "Do you want to try and talk our way in? We could always bluff him and pretend we're here to fix the whole situation. We might be able to fast talk them
Computers.
into-
We're the IT guys. We're here to fix the computers.
I'm not talking to anybody.
I don't think we look like computer guys, but we could pretend.
Me, I don't look like a computer guy.
Yeah,
You
but
look like a junkie.
How dare you, Dax?
Oh,
you know what? You know
Well-
what? Follow my lead. Let's go.
Okay,
I start walking.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. I start walking toward the office like I belong there, and see if I'm challenged by the droids or if I can.
I reluctantly follow, and then kind of just follow in suit, a couple of steps behind.
Yep.
Almost like I'm in tow, just waiting for word to do whatever.
Yeah, so you would basically the guard, as you kind of come up to these two guards, they are kind of just standing there basically like stock still, and as you get a little bit close, they're like, stop right there, state your business.
Are they droids?
Yes, they are droids.
Write that down.
Yes, it's afternoon, right? Or it's night. I don't remember what it is.
I think it's
Well, it's hard to say
late
because
afternoon.
you could look at your chrono if you want, but
It's
basically
okay.
on Narshada, it's always like
it's
bright
always
neon, whatever. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Chrome, smog, and neon. Yeah.
I'll say hello. We're here to. We have important business with the spaceport administrative staff.
You have business with the administrator. Oh.
Yes.
Business with the admin. That's what I'm here for.
So why don't we do this? I'm gonna have you make a roll. You can do either probably coercion.
Well, deception.
Is it,
For
for lying?
really
Oh, deception. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Deception. Now, the difficulty is gonna be one. There's two of them. So one red because they have normally a one yellow for their discipline, I believe.
Oh, do you want to leave, Charlie?
So, and let's see. Okay. Yeah, give them.
I
give
can
me
take
just a
away that
straight-
one black dice now because I don't have the cat in my lap.
Okay, no worries. But this is a pretty straightforward roll. There's not any additional dice involved.
Nothing.
No, not for you, Michael. It's just for.
Sorry. Good point.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, your deception versus one red.
So let's.
Am I not also deceiving them?
There's not a
yet.
huge amount of stakes at present, so I'm gonna just
Right.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's
is
good.
no successes, but 3 advantages.
Okay.
Good.
So I'll let you narrate the advantages here in just a minute. But they say they kind of look and they say, hold on, querying database. We don't see any meetings with Overseer Bryn currently. What did you say you were here for again? And so you weren't immediately persuasive of them. However, you do have those 3 advantages. So how do you think that would give you or be advantageous?
Well, they kind of just gave me the name of the administrator, right? Administrator Bryn.
Yep.
So that's probably a little bit of advantage that I get on my side. And can I use one of those to give myself a boost for the next check?
Yeah, certainly. And you do have, you have 3 advantages. So I would definitely say, like, if you wanted to do some like quick research or whatever on Administrator Bryn, in fact, Griff, you might be able to do that with a computer's check. That might be a way you could use some advantage as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do
Sure,
that.
I turn to Griff and I say,
Yeah.
Bryn, is this the name we have?
Yeah, and so, Michael, for you,
let
go
me
ahead.
check.
Yeah, so you go ahead and
Computers?
make your computers. Yep. We're gonna say it's a.
Do I use my data breaker?
Yep.
Okay, so
You
I
do.
have their systems.
So I lean
Yeah.
over and whisper. I whisper to Griff, check if he
Add
has
an
any,
additional boost dice.
check if he has any
Another
gambling-
one?
Yep.
any gambling
Gambling
debts
addiction.
or something.
He has a
Yeah.
gambling addiction.
So
do I
this
have
is
any-
gonna be against 2 purple. However,
Sure.
I'm gonna flip a dark side point, so it'll be 1 purple, 1 red.
Well, I'm gonna flip that back and I'm gonna grab a green.
Okay. And go for it.
Hold on, I'm gonna
Yeah,
put
clear
the
those
other
out.
part of my
Yeah. Oh, look at you.
Ooh.
I
So
can't see the
these-
green dice, but can you pull that one in? There we
TIE
go.
fighters.
Oh, wow.
That is
Yeah.
a great roll.
That's a lot of
Is
or
it?
a lot of successes. Well, yeah, because you don't have any
Oh, I mean-
failures.
You got
Yeah, there you go.
You got
1,
4
2,
of the
3,
Starfighter
4, 5, 6,
Those take
7.
out-
7 successes, it looks like.
but 3
and
setbacks, right?
3 setbacks, yeah.
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 3 setbacks. Okay, that is insane.
Maybe find out something
Okay.
negative about him, like he's friends with
Dude,
them.
I find out everything. He's friends with
So-
freaking Gore.
You find out that Administrator Bryn is actually a female. She is a human, and she has been working on Nar Shaddaa for the last basically 6 months. She used to be in the Imperial bureaucracy, right? She was in fact, she was a kind of a low-ranking officer, but she got busted out of the Imperial service because she had she had basically
Hang on.
unknowing to her.
I lost audio there for a second.
Oh, you lost audio?
Oh, there we go. Now you're back.
You're good? Okay. What happened was she had accidentally allowed a rebel to gain basically sensitive intel, and then they used that to cause some destruction to Imperial property. So she got washed out and is now working for a criminal organization and has, just like you guys have, she has obligation to a criminal. Now you can't find out quite who she's working for.
7?
Yeah, but what you do know is that it appears that she's got a pretty hefty debt that she owes to somebody, like credits, and she's been known to hang around with people from the Black Sun Syndicate. Yep. Now.
And Corda
Yeah.
Bass, is she Black Sun or independent?
You don't know. You haven't. As far as you know, she works for a rival of Gort the Hutt, but you don't know if it's another Hutt rival or if it's somebody else.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I guess-
I will hold the disadvantages in my pocket for now.
Cool.
I guess I'll whisper over to Dax. I'm so.
Don't worry.
I was paying attention. I was.
What do you got?
Nothing. It's criminal. Wait. She let a rebel get sensitive information and then get away.
Yeah, got busted out of the Imperial Corps
So yeah,
or whatever. Yeah.
I guess I would say to the droid, she's still working. Thought you would have fired her already. Or wait, she's the boss.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, you actually, she does take meetings rather frequently with her. With all kinds of people. So that's where you learned about Black Sun, was that most recently she has taken meetings with members of the Black Sun Syndicate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is she the big boss of this, or is there someone up the higher corporate ladder than her?
There's always a bigger fish, right? As they say in episode 1.
Yeah.
However,
We're here to fry 'em, baby.
she's just the administrator of this particular section of the spaceport. Yeah.
So I guess I would say to the droids, really? She's still working here? I thought they would have fired her already.
But the port isn't run by the Imperials, or is it?
Right. No, this is not an
This is-
Imperial
this is-
port.
oh.
This is a criminal port.
Then I'm just gonna
there,
tell you the information
yeah.
that I figured
Right.
out.
there is an Imperial shipyard on Nar Shaddaa, but that's not where you are.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell
So-
Dax and Barada then.
So I look back at the droids and say, "Of course you don't have an appointment with us. We're here on personal business. Please inform Administrator Bryn that we've come to discuss a certain
You want to tell the
loan-
boss that
loan
we're here?
Syndicate
relief.
business?
loan relief for a personal loan she applied to."
Okay.
Wait.
So
Are we the loan crooks?
yeah, well, supposedly. So make another deception roll for me. Again, still against a red, but also we're going to add 2 setback dice to that. That's what we're going to use as Michael's failures there, because
Okay.
you're trying to really sell this lie, but thinking about it, like, what happens if she's like, wait, what? Just kill these guys. So
Right,
there's some
right. That could
strain
always
there.
happen.
Yeah.
Can I get
Yeah.
a single boost for the information? Because I'm leveraging some of the information.
Actually, yes. In fact, based on the huge number of successes, yes, I will say you can get a boost. And keep in mind, you have 5 light side points to play with right now.
Yeah, let's
Dark, do
play
you
with
have?
one of those.
So,
Let's use one of those to upgrade
yep.
myself
So you used
to
one.
another
So I have
yellow.
2. I have 2 black right now, and you all have 4 white, light.
Right.
All right. Let's see
Okay.
how this go.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yes,
That's actually
that's
pretty
one
good.
failure.
Succeed. Yep.
That's 2 failures. So this kills this.
Cancels that.
And I still have 2 successes,
And
4
Yeah.
advantages.
advantage.
Wow.
2 successes and 4 advantages.
So the one droid kind of turns its head to the other, and then the other one like nods its head, and then it says, "Just a moment," and then you it like does something. You see this little antenna pop up, and then it says, "Administrator Bryn, we have a party here that says that they are here to speak with you about a sensitive financial matter. Please, are we authorized to send them in? They said something about a loan," and you hear, and you see the droid kind of like its orbital sockets would be kind of like almost as if it's like taking in information, right? And then it looks to the other one, and it says that yes. Well, actually, first you hear it say, "Yes, Administrator. Yes, of course. Absolutely. Thank you." And it seems to disconnect the call. The little antenna goes down. And then it looks to the other one and it says, "All right, open it up." But then they look back to you and he says, "But remember, no funny business. She says she'll meet with you, but this is unauthorized, or she didn't seem to have this on her schedule. So remember, we're watching you."
That's okay.
And what I'll do is I'll let you, unless you have an idea right now, you can hang on to your advantage for right now, for when she sees you, because it seems like it would make sense to kind of come into play in this next scene. And so, go ahead, Del.
No, I'm just before you go enter.
Yeah.
I kind of like, do I need to stay out here and watch these guards or come in? So
Come on in.
should I follow? Okay.
Your big fighting muscles.
I don't want to be threatening to her, but then again, I want to keep an eye on these,
Right.
you know. But anyway,
Well, keep in mind that she's probably not necessarily intimidated by you just as a bodyguard. Not to say you're not intimidating, but if she's dealing
I
with
just
the
want to
likes
know
of Black Sun,
logistically where I'm better
Right.
positioned. You know what I mean? Like to
Yeah,
guard
absolutely.
the door or come inside. So that's all.
right? Well,
This
and
totally-
you see, right, the door of the to the inner part of the the spaceport, right? It comes up, and you kind of walk through, and the droid guards are kind of like looking at you, but they don't move inside. And so as the 3 of you kind of cross that threshold, and the door goes zoom back down, the droids are still at their station, right? Their job is to make sure that only people who are authorized to come in can come in. Normally, you would have just presented your credentials because your ship is docked here, so that would give you entrance in. But you knew that you were kind of, wanted or whatever. So, as you kind of come in, you actually hear much of like the same bustle that you heard in the spaceport, right, or in the streets of Nar Shaddaa. There's some music, there's carrying on, right, because there would be people here that had ships, and there would be work crews, and there would be administrators, and you see a game of Sabacc being played over at one of the little lounge areas. There's a bar set up, and directly ahead is the administrative like building or whatever, and it is almost similar to what you guys might have seen if you've ever encountered any of the huts on like Tatooine or something, right? It's kind of got one of those like Durasteel doors, and then it's got a little port where like one of those like mechanical eyeballs would come out. Um,
So this is like an open courtyard. This isn't a covered building, or
so this part of it is an open courtyard, yes,
Okay.
because basically the way it
Oh, I
works
think
is
it's a
it kind of
cantina,
rings
basically.
around.
Yeah.
So there would be like this outer kind of walkway, and so there'd be like sort of little depressions in the wall where there might be a lounge or a little cargo area. But then the covered buildings would certainly be like the administrative building, which is in front of you. There might be kind of like a VIP lounge or whatever, which would be there'd be a cantina that would be covered, but the space ports themselves would be open because they're a little bit more of like a docking bay instead of a docking port, as opposed to like a really like nice covered one. So
we're
you know,
like
because you would come in and go
enclosed by a large ring wall, right?
Yeah.
And then there's buildings
but this
inside
part,
and areas.
but you could see the upper levels of Nar Shaddaa above you, right? All the traffic and everything. Yeah, there's no ceiling right here. Yeah.
Cool. So I
Um,
lean over to Barada and say, start looking for a way out in case this goes south.
Yeah, I'm
We
way
might
ahead
need
of
an
you.
escape route. Yeah.
You can tell I'm dialed up and just looking around.
Yeah.
Perception.
And you guys
vigilance.
know that your ship would be in docking bay 4, and there would be, I think there are 4 bays in this one, so it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Kind of in a semicircle.
Yeah.
And
our
so
ship is
because you guys
here.
came out here, yeah.
We do
I
not.
see it.
If we talk to the administrator or somehow get ourselves cleared, we just walk straight to our docking bay and take off. We don't have to go past those droids again.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
those
Our
were
ship-
basically droids that only
That's-
would prevent you from entering to the
Spaceport
spaceport area.
area.
Yeah. Yep.
Then how did we see our ship last session if it's in here?
I don't
We
think you
walked
saw
right
the
up to
ship.
it. Yeah.
I think we heard about it or something.
No, I think it showed up on the data pad. It said that it was
Oh,
under
okay.
lockdown.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure we walked up to it.
Well, you were on a stim high, so you might have in
Fair
your
point. I might
head
have
actually,
hallucinated that.
yeah, or you might have like as a force projection or whatever, like walked up to it. You're like, wait a second,
Okay,
but now you're like,
I mean, I'm focused on that.
You were moving faster than your body.
Yeah.
You were already there mentally.
exactly.
I want some blue milk.
So you kind of know that so you know where to go. You have to go up to the administration building, right? And so what happens is as you kind of approach it, you see the little camera pop out and go, and then it pops back in. And like 10 seconds go by, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, the door, like nothing seems to be happening. And then all of a sudden you kind of hear of like locks like disengaging, and then you see the Durasteel door just kind of and this would be, you're able to go into the administration building if you need to.
Yeah, but Barada's hand stopped short before pounding on the door. And it slides open. And I back up.
And yeah, well, and you're actually greeted by a protocol droid, and as your big sort of Klatooinian fist was like right, about to hit the door, and then it's like real close to it. Oh my, oh so sorry. Administrator Bryn has advised me to escort you to her office. Please come with me.
Thank you.
Hello.
Should I hack him, guys? Do I need him or not?
You want to?
No,
I wouldn't
escort us
recommend
there?
it.
Should we like
Let's-
sneak
let's-
there?
Let's
As
talk to
you
the
look
administrator
around-
first and see if we can.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah.
You realize too that this place has like a lot of cameras. Like this place is like they monitor everything in here. Like all the workers, everything is monitored
Yeah, on your
heavily
best
in this
behavior,
administration building. Yeah, well, and especially because this place is full of criminals, so they don't want shenanigans happening up in
Right.
here.
Now maybe start barking at you.
Yeah, exactly. And so she says, "My name is KC75, but you can call me Casey. And if we can provide you with any refreshments or anything while you wait, Administrator Bryn is just finishing up with another meeting, and she will be ready for you in about 10 minutes.
What
Can I get anything for you?"
alcohol do they have in Star Wars?
What do they what?
Alcohol? 'Cause
Corellian whiskey, baby.
Yes, I want that. Like some Corellian whiskey, please.
Griff, you grew up drinking blue milk, of course, right? Like
Of
milk
course.
was your
It does your
but
I know, but I mean,
anything
also,
you can imagine.
straight from the teat.
dude,
Oh.
give me a
Yeah.
root beer.
Or like one of those nasty like things that Luke was milking in the
That's what I was thinking.
was it Last Jedi or something? Or yeah, something like that. Ugh, gross. Anyway,
I want some whiskey.
okay.
So
So
I-
she
yeah.
go ahead.
So if when the droid leaves us alone, right? I'll discuss with him. Since we could probably bluff our way out of this. Now it might work or it might not work. Once we're alone with the administrator, I can try to convince her that maybe we're here to fix her debts, right? Maybe I'm thinking that whoever put that gravity boot on our ship, it might even have been Corta herself, right? So what I'm gonna try and do is make it seem like we're coming from Corta, and that she needs the ship moved. And so in exchange, she has agreed to provide the administrator with relief to her debts. Now, this might work, but if it doesn't, then we'll be trapped in the middle of this building with the administrator. So I'm thinking we either take hostages or find our way to get out of this building. That's
Okay,
my
Griff
plan.
would definitely
Dorada
be
leans
guy
in
to
a little
take off.
bit and uncomfortably looks around. There's something I must admit to you, Dax, and then I'll side-eye Griff. I fear that my past has come to haunt me. There's I think I spied Nikto, one of my former acquaintances, in the crowd yonder. I'm keeping an eye out for them, but he's bad news. He's betrayed me, and he may be working with Cortavas as well, giving her information. I don't know. It's solely speculation, but just be wary of that when you're talking to the administrator. I'll keep an eye out on the door. And
Yes.
her.
Yeah, hopefully we can move swiftly, but there might be a last-minute change of plans depending on how this goes. So
Yeah.
just be.
He's an
be on the
associate
alert for that.
of Gort the Hutt, so I don't know if she's working in concert with him. Possibly
The
not.
administrator or Nikto?
I know Nikto, the Court of Voss and Nikto. I don't know if they would be working together, since he has an allegiance to Gort.
Oh,
But that could be a
Nikto
possibility.
has allegiance to Gort. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got to get our ship and go meet Gort anyway. So,
Yeah.
maybe this will work.
And-
Because I don't want to throw Gort's name into this if we can avoid it. That's who we're doing business with. So,
Yeah. And as you kind of say that, the door to this kind of, it's sort of like a little antechamber thing, kind of like the waiting room for the administrator's office or whatever. And the door opens again, right? And KC comes back in and she's like, I've brought in refreshments, right? And so she puts down a tray, and there's some exotic food, like meat on a stick, but you're not sure if it's spiced Kowakian lizard or if it's something else. It's probably some kind of meat, and as well as she did bring a snifter of Corellian brandy, as well as just some, kind of standard,
Oh,
like
liquor.
low key fare. And she says, um, I I've been instructed to inform you that, much to her annoyance, the administrator will be delayed only a little bit longer. Unfortunately, she has some imperial business that she must attend to. And she kind of tries to make this like, ha ha ha, imperial entanglements, right? Trying to
Right.
put you at ease or
I'm
whatever.
bending over
Yeah.
the tray
Is,
and sniffing it.
is there a terminal here that my friend could use? We need to sort of get in contact with our
Ah.
employer and inform him of the delay.
With
She
like 6
says,
pounds of beef in my
well,
mouth. It's like,
terminals in this facility are really only for authorized personnel only. Surely you could make a communications on your comlink, right?
not too
Uh,
far away.
it's
If you want to try to convince her, you certainly can.
I mean, they're definitely too far away.
sure. I'm gonna try and bluff the droid and see if we can,
But
the
also, aren't our comlinks like small handheld, like maybe only
Right.
planetary?
Now,
So I don't even
Well, I
think we
guess,
could.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a good. And well,
Mhm.
our employer's in orbit. We're gonna need to access longer range communications. Unfortunately, he's out of reach.
Okay.
okay.
So, I'll keep in mind too that you do still have those advantages from earlier. If you want to bring those into play, you certainly can.
Now,
Sure,
You
might as well.
Barada's leaning
I'll say-
over and sniffing the plate, and it's also to make
Mhm.
her a little bit uncomfortable. Like she might be encouraged to agree just to get out of the way. But I'm sniffing for poison and whatnot with it. See what she's
Oh,
doing.
dude, I've
Okay.
already eaten like half that plate. I really hope it's not poisoned.
Well, so doing your due diligence. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Actually, have Barada just make like a simple perception roll for me. It'll just be against one
If
purple.
it's poisoned, I'm doomed.
Yeah.
Okay. Perception. I got one up on that. So that'd be 3 green.
Yeah. So your perception is based on what is it? Based on cunning, isn't it?
Yeah, but I
think
mean,
we're
I got a
intellect.
one stage.
Oh, 1 point. So
yeah.
so
point of
then
this skill-
yeah. So it's your attribute
His
sets the
intellect
total
is
dice,
2.
and then 2. Okay, so you'd probably be 1 green and 1 yellow then, because
Okay,
if you have a
step
skill
up.
point, that upgrades the dice. Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly.
All right.
Mhm.
Against what? 2 purple.
No, 1 purple.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, I got
As a no,
2 advantages and 1 success, and so no success and 1 advantage is all I got out of that. So
Okay,
that
I
may
gotcha.
incur
So
of advantage for him.
yeah, so the it's a bit distracting, right? Because you might be like,
Oh yeah.
right, and if you had a tail, it would be wagging right now, but you don't. So, but just
Yeah.
kidding. But so yeah, you don't seem to notice anything wrong with the
Okay.
food. In fact, it smells quite delicious. You think you might want to
It
tuck
is.
in.
Yeah,
But it's definitely a bit distracting for Casey. She keeps kind of looking over. So I'll say that that could add a boost dice
Nice.
to
Yeah.
Dax's roll,
That
and then
were delicious.
I would say if you want, Eloy, you could add another 2 boosts for your advantages earlier if you want. Or actually, you had 4 advantages, right?
yeah.
So I think that's probably enough.
probably
If you
just
wanted to upgrade a die, you could. I think instead of the
So instead of all
boosts.
the boosts, then just
Yeah.
upgrade another.
Well,
Sure,
you still
why
have
not?
1 boost from Dell's action, but I think your
Okay.
other advantages, I'll say you can use those to upgrade.
Okay, might as well. What's my difficulty here?
This is going to be against 1. No, this is against 2 purple.
2 purple.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Did we
Yep.
ever? No.
So here we go.
All right. Okay.
That's good.
Dang, look at you.
This this, but one failure kills one of these, so it's
Yeah.
3 successes
Yes.
and 3
advantages.
advantages. That's pretty good.
Oh wow. All right. So she thinks about it for a minute and she's like, yes, of course. What was I thinking? Plus communications are always troublesome in this building anyway. Of course. However, we don't have one right here, but I can bring you to one of the public use terminals if you would like.
I'm sure there's one in the office right here. We don't need to go far. It'll only take a minute and see if I can leverage my advantages to get him to the terminal, like
No,
right
it's
here.
not a public terminal. Anything but one that's very
Right.
easily
You
dark.
don't. You
Okay.
want a private terminal, right?
Yeah. All right.
Give it just like a
So
minute.
she pauses for a minute and like they don't have facial expressions, but if a droid did, you can definitely like she's thinking about it. Her neural synapses are working, the code
Spinning.
going through her code, and she says, "Oh, very well. I suppose that's fine. If you'll come with me." And she kind of looks around like, are all of you coming or is just one of you? I can take you to a private terminal that you could use.
Sure.
I'll relieve her of the tray as she's turning around and be scarfing behind her as I'm walking.
Yeah. I think Griff had been like pulling, as you're kind of pulling. He's
I have like half that. Like,
yeah. He grabbed all the womp rat on a stick and,
so I'd like you to know, Chalice, that I have the code breaker and bypass security pass.
Mhm.
So I remove
Yeah.
one black dice from text to break or decrypt communications and
Yep.
bypass security.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
And also, did you determine XP from?
I did, but we'll worry about that afterwards.
Sounds good.
So, are you all going to go with Casey, or are just some of you? How do you want to do this?
Sure. I think we all.
I mean,
well,
I
at least
feel like maybe we might want just Griff and Barad.
Barada.
Oh, interesting.
He's the bodyguard, right?
Yeah. You think to what end? Like, why leave? Just curious, but why leave Dex behind as well? Just
I guess to
distract the
with-
droid or something.
yeah, probably along the lines
or
of
Dax, I should say. Yeah.
distract the droid and wait if
Okay.
Bryn
That's fine.
gets there.
Okay.
Bradley's
Yeah.
unsure,
Well,
but
and-
he'll follow Griff and be
Sure.
reconnoitering everything this that we're walking through with all the people. I'm afraid that
Okay.
Nick Toe is somewhere around the corner.
Okay. So, the door opens and she walks out, and you kind of follow her, and you go down this like little hallway, and she kind of turns, and there's like basically it's almost like a couple of cubicles that sit like outside of this sort of bigger room, and you can see that there's like this ornamented glass on either side of this door, and you can see through the glass. You can't see a lot, but you can see a little bit that there are at least two figures sitting in front of a table. They seem to be in imperial military attire, and then you see a female sitting on the other side of the desk, right? Who you presume would be Administrator Bryn. And they seem to be deep in conversation. And again, you can see this through the windows, but
They're in the middle of nowhere.
well, he's in like the little like conference room or whatever with the drinks and the stuff.
Sorry.
And so she brings you over to this little terminal. It looks like it would probably be like an assistant or a some worker's terminal. And she says, you may use this terminal if you need to communicate. I'll just be over here. And she kind of steps away, definitely close enough that she would probably be able to hear you, but just enough so that she wouldn't like see what you were doing on the computer.
Okay, I was definitely like, if she's spying, I'm gonna tell Barada, go make small talk with that droid.
You want him to do the small talk?
I mean, but the fact that
ask for more meat or something.
oh, so wait,
Oh,
are
there
we
you
in
go.
a room? Are we in the room with Bryn?
No, so you're
Oh,
still outside of her office. This would be kind of like
so
the
the robot's not
outer
spying
cloister or
on
whatever.
us.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, the robot is letting you do something that is unorthodox, right? She normally wouldn't allow you to access a company computer, so to speak.
Are we
So
being
she
watched?
has to, yes,
By
but
All
her.
right,
not,
so I'm
yeah.
gonna whisper towards Brada, basically along the lines of distract her, if that can be like small talk, asking for more
Mm.
food, along those lines.
Yeah, that's what I had in mind. I was gonna, you know,
Mhm.
leave her an acoustic
Okay.
echo with my big frame and blocking your voice
Okay.
to do whatever I can to so she won't pick up
Sure.
what you're saying.
Okay. Well,
I
so
am
why don't we
gonna
do that? Well, hold on, Michael. Why don't we do
yeah,
that first because
dice.
Barada's action could potentially
Affect
affect
yours. Yeah.
your role. So, yeah, why don't we have what is it that you want to do
Have
that
you
you want
got
to have
any
Barada
more?
do exactly?
I'm walking up and taking the platter that she had and then you mind getting some more of that? That was good stuff. I'll watch him. And then I'm looking around at the other two or
Oh,
whatever.
All right. Make so you can make either a perception, no, not a perception, sorry, a persuasion roll, or if you want to be a little bit more gruff, I suppose you could do coercion, but
like, please,
depending
more
on how
meat.
you want to do that. But you
Feed
would
me to my meat.
definitely need to. So that would be against one purple. However, I am going to flip a dark side point to upgrade it because this is highly unorthodox, right?
Yeah, but I've
Sounds
already
fine.
started our relationship a little bit like I'm
Right.
a bull in a
What I'm
china
saying though
shop,
is to get her to leave you alone. I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
imagine like you walked into an office that you've never been in, right? They wouldn't
Walked into a
necessarily
bank.
just leave you alone. But she definitely, is a protocol droid, and she has certain functions that she is meant to,
Yeah.
she is meant to tend to your needs and
Well,
desires. So,
I'm appealing to that and the fact that
yeah.
I may be uncomfortable for her to deal with.
Hmm.
I'm not flirting with her, but I'm more of
No,
a,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
So I would say make a persuasion roll. It's gonna be
It's
against the
off
one per
intellect or
the
what?
world. Yeah, yep. It's off. It's based on. No. Well, is it intellect or cunning?
I think
You
cunning
can
would
No,
be.
use the
actually,
light
on
side point though.
persuasion.
But either way, it's two, so I'm good.
You use the
Okay,
dark
so
side point, so
yeah. Well, it's
you
fine.
might
And
want to
then
take that back.
Yeah, I just
so it's
meant
only one red.
the
Yeah.
tact I'm making will be probably more
Hmm.
skewed to being gruffed than I don't know. I don't know how you would affect that. But if persuasion is the way to
Well,
go,
Well, it's I would say either persuasion if you're trying to, persuade her to do something, or if you're trying to coerce her into doing it,
it's more of a
knowing that she
coercion.
probably doesn't want. Okay, then yeah, then use coercion instead.
Just by the
Still
BO and
against
by everything else I'm,
sure.
exuding.
And
And what I'm gonna
gonna
say is, you will also have to add one setback dice,
Okay.
because again, you are in kind of this unusual situation where she's not really even supposed to let you in here.
Okay. I'm still
Mhm.
approach her
This droid's
obliviously.
getting scrapped.
Just
Yeah.
like turn around with the plate. Oh, that was great. Get some more.
Yeah.
I'll watch you.
Yeah.
Don't
Can
worry
we have
about
some
that.
more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll stand close and kind of up to her and whatever like that. So,
Sure.
anyway, against what, two or one purple?
So one red and one black would be the negative dice, and then
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, and then your coercion for
Coercions two. I want to use a
yeah.
light side point to do that.
Okay. Sure. Yep. So that bumps it up. It takes one of the greens and bumps it to a yellow.
Gotcha. All right. That'll work it.
Cool.
Roll that beautiful beam footage. Okay, I got 3 of the little caltrop looking things. That's 3 successes.
Yeah. The successes. Yep.
Yeah, and 2 advantages. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So
oh, wait a minute.
then
the
what I
red
would
the red die
oh,
came
yeah.
up with 2. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. So
Hang on,
basically,
the red
Oh, okay.
side that has
is
like the
theirs.
little
The
triangles.
TIE fighters, yeah. What was it? Yeah, is it the triangles or is it like
Or
the
is
TIE
it
fighter cockpit?
these?
Oh,
Those. Okay, so
Oh, those are
those
bad.
are
Those are
yeah,
failures.
those are failures.
Oh, that's what
So
I'm
those
saying.
count.
I was looking at that.
Got it.
There's
So
there's
so
3 failures and 2 advantages is what I got.
Oh, a
no.
total. Okay.
Yeah, total. I was reading that backwards. Backwards.
Okay, so you had 3 failures, but you have 2 advantages. Okay.
Yeah.
So she says to you, "Oh,
I probably tripped
I'm sorry.
over.
Yeah, maybe you kind of
Laying
bump
on
into
top
her a
of
little
her.
bit. Oh no, I'm sorry. I can't leave the area yet while he's using the terminal, but I'm sure it won't be a problem. But the distraction could certainly add an advantage to Griff's computer's check
Yeah.
if you want.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he bumped into the robot. Time to start hacking.
So,
So it's computers
what do
plus
you?
data breaker.
So are you trying? What's your goal here? Are you trying to use
I guess
this
I'm
terminal to
trying-
unlock the clamp, or are you trying to get information?
Yeah, I'm trying
Okay.
to unlock the clamp.
Okay. So the fact that you are on an internal computer actually makes it a lot easier. Now you don't know exactly like the system and how you need to access everything. But under normal circumstances, this is going to be 2 purple dice as difficulty.
Sorry, my headphones are dying. They're saying battery low. How many purple dice?
2 purple. No, and you're not going to have any setbacks because all your stuff gets rid of that anyway.
Yeah, my code breaker and my bypass.
Yep. So right now, you're doing, yeah, that's exactly right. The way you have it right
boost
now.
dice from like Dell or?
Oh, yeah. Are your boost dice that are in your pool there from?
These are from my data breaker.
Okay, yeah. Add another boost dice in. Oh my God, I'm gonna flip one more dark side. So right now you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So we're back to normal.
So yep. So there you go.
Holy crap! This is a big roll.
Mm-hmm.
This is big.
All right, move these all into the middle.
Oh,
this is ridiculous.
Good.
You don't have any
That's
failures.
Good.
That takes out
One
That
advantage.
takes out the blue right next to it.
Yep.
Yep.
Holy crap!
Yes.
So that's
Look at that.
oh my
All
god.
those things.
That's 8 successes and 3
6.
advantage.
2,
No,
4,
8.
6.
That's 8.
I think it's
That's 6,
Oh
7,
yeah, it is.
8.
Yeah. You're right.
Every clamp on
successes
every
and
ship
2
out there
advantage.
just pop open.
Okay, so
Dude, that ship flies over to us and picks us up and autopilot engage.
I don't know about that, but what I will say is that
That's awesome.
you kind of like get into the thing and you realize that like whoever used this terminal, they basically set the password on this as like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so it was very easy to get in there, right? And then the file system was really simple, like because they had like the sort of administrative personnel stuff, but then you found commands for spaceport controls, and so then it was like, okay, docking bay 4, release clamp, and then because you had so much success, you actually also realized there was like a message that was pinned to it was essentially the authorization to put the clamp in, and so you go in and you erase that thing, so there's no record of any adverse action to you. So you scrubbed it all so that basically all it says was your normal departure, your normal arrival, and your normal departure, or not normal departure, but your normal arrival. There's no indication of any issues. Yeah, and I will say also with that, you
Ships all the credit.
you were originally going to be charged like 100 credits for refueling, but you managed to find a database with corporate codes, so you got a 50% discount.
Dude, I still basically can't pay that.
No,
I
it's
have
fine.
no money. Yeah.
It's part of your
I
it's
have,
part of your normal
I have
listen.
75 credits.
Yeah, no, yeah. So it was going to be, what did I say? It was going to be 100 credits or 200 credits
So I
normally,
would be
and
left
it would
with
be normally
25
100.
credits.
You know what? With 8 successes, I'll say you could wipe it out completely. It was
Oh, dude, I get free fuel
Give
for
us
life.
give us a positive balance. And
No, you don't get any
Yeah, you
credits,
better.
but
We're gonna hack in where you take the money from the other ship's safe deposit boxes and put it into our bank account. I gotta rob a bank. That's what I gotta do.
now does Griff want to like kind of send a message over your comm links, like almost like a text message to Dax saying we're all set, it's unlocked, or do you want to
Actually,
just
yes,
wait
I
until
would.
you
I'd like
return in person?
to
Okay.
comlink Dax to basically.
Yeah.
I mean, at least start up the car. Takes a second to rev it up, so I tell him like I guess turn on the ship maybe.
Well, no, well he's not there yet, but you could relay to him that
I tell him that I unbooted our
you
ship.
know, job's done.
Okay,
It's over. We unlocked it.
I text back.
Oh wait a minute.
Let's move right now. Let's go. Get
All
out
right,
of
I'm
there.
going. I'm gonna say to the robot, it's like, all right, thank you for letting us use this terminal. We've sent our message and we're oh we've
Hmm.
I'm
just
helping the robot up from where I
how
fell
do I
on it.
tell them to not? We've determined that our schedule does not overlap well, and we will have to return another day.
Yes.
Hmm.
We
Nice.
have a very important meeting that our social media manager completely
Hmm.
forgot to put on our calendar.
Oh, okay. And the droid is like, "Oh, well, I'm sure Administrator Bryn will be most disappointed that she wasn't able to meet with you today, but it
I'm
does
very
seem that
sorry.
her current meeting is going longer than expected. So it's no problem." And so she says, "I'll bring you back to your companion." So she escorts you back, right? And you see, yeah, kind of you glance back at the administrator's office as you're kind of leaving, and you see that the people in imperial uniform, they seem to be getting a little heated. They're gesticulating a lot, and the administrator is like pointing her fingers at them and whatever. So it seems like it's getting a little heated, and you're like, and the KC is like, quickly, let's move along now. Let's move along, and yeah. So she ushers you out and then brings you back to where I assume if Dax had kind of exited the sort of little conference room area, right? And maybe you guys like converge in the hallway outside. And she's like, "Well, is there anything else I can assist you with before you depart?"
No, thank you. Please
And
convey our
Harvey
apologies
asked
to the administrator and tell her that we will contact her as soon as possible, but something urgent has come up and
tell
we
me where
must
you find
take
that
our leave.
amazing whiskey. It was so good.
Oh, very well, very well. Of course I will. And she says, "Well, if nothing else, then I will return to my duties." And so you would basically need to exit out the way you came, essentially, the administrative building. Um, and if you do so, um, you'll be kind of back out into that that sort of ringed like
Yeah.
hallway sort of thing, right? And you guys know, like, if you so basically the way it would work is you'd have docking bays 1 and 2 to the left and 3 and 4 to the right. So if you go to the right, you're docking bay 4, you'll be the first
Gotcha.
right there. So you could certainly go there if you want.
Yeah, well, I say we have no time to waste. We were told by Gort to move and deliver the goods. I thought he had given us a time deadline,
I
but
got
I
free
don't remember
refueling.
now.
I unbooted our ship. It's time to go. Where are we
Hmm.
going?
He's
I
in the
don't.
ship in orbit. I remember
He said go get into orbit, and then he would send you the coordinates for where he
coordinates
was
for the
located.
meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Cool.
Yup.
Okay.
Let's go before we get a visit from
Get
Cordobas.
out of here, quickly.
Cordovas or Nicto.
Oh yeah.
So Barada's sidestepping it, and he's vigilant. And
Could I could I get the defensive slicing on my tech tree?
Eventually, but let's wait on that until you have enough XP to do so.
I do.
All right.
I do
So,
have
well,
enough XP.
no, but what I'm saying is you can do that between sessions. Right now, there's no time for you to train. You can't get on, on Hollow Google and download the stuff you need. But okay. So this is what we'll do. You make your way over to the, kind of the hangar, right, so to speak, and it does have a like blast steel door or whatever, right? Like they all do. You had a little code that they gave you when you to type in do, right, and the door comes up, and you see that your ship is, it's there in all its black turtley glory, right?
I love it.
And you, but you do notice that you're in the ship. You are not, or in the hangar itself. There were a couple of, it looked like droids that had been, like they'd hooked up refueling tubes and all that, and they were kind of moving some stuff, and they were kind of moving out of the way. But you do notice that there is a figure standing in front of your ship. And Barada, you would immediately know who this is. This is your buddy. This is your pal.
This is Nicto.
This is Nicto. Yep.
And you hear me hiss that Nicto. And I've got my hand on the blaster.
Would I know anything about Nicto?
Just from what I said earlier,
necessarily.
my paranoia that he was going to sabotage my relationship with Gort.
Yeah.
He's got something he's hanging over my head.
Mm-hmm.
What's the attack for a combat knife and just for later?
Sorry, what'd you say?
What's the attack for my combat knife based on?
I think you have a melee skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I see that on here.
But yeah, I pull the blaster and level it at him as I'm walking up, and I'll.
I mean, I'd probably see that, and I'd probably pull out my blaster. I'm there. Helpful.
Yeah.
What kind of what's Nicto's species? Is it
Klatooinian.
Human or Klatooinian?
Yeah, he's Klatooinian as well. Yeah.
Cool.
And you see that he is brandishing a really nasty disruptor pistol. I mean, these things are bad, and so he doesn't mess around, right? And he looks to you, Barada, and he says, so seems like you're trying to leave early. Not today, Barada. You have business that needs to be addressed first.
We're gonna leave, Nicto. I suggest you step to the side, and I do a little motion with my blaster pistol, with my pea shooter, over. But I'm looking at y'all. It's a very tense situation because, I mean, like, we're both, like, stuck, and you can, our hackles are up,
Don't exactly know why we're shooting or why we're aiming.
We haven't shot yet, but it's definitely like a shoot.
I know.
I'm just saying that
aiming at him.
From what I said earlier, y'all should be able to understand that he is like
this is
my opposition this time.
I probably wouldn't instantly recognize. It's like, oh, that's Nick.
So
but I'll brush you to the side. It should be like you should have your lightsaber could cut the tension. You know what I mean? Through the air.
Yeah.
So we decide.
I gotta cut the tension with my combat knife.
And then some tumbleweed comes floating by, right? As you're kind of
I'm
like,
basically
your fingers
honestly
are twitching
trying to
near your blaster.
y'all would get this by my little hand motion and our relationship together, that I'm trying to interpose myself between you and him. And if y'all can work your way around to the side, maybe you can get on the ship even at my detriment. So I'm going to be calling him out toward me. Okay. So
keep in mind too that this guy, he's here alone, and he does not seem intimidated at all in the fact that he's facing 3 people.
He doesn't look at them or me, for that matter, as any kind of,
oh yeah, he's basically just like eyeing you, right? And he's like,
3v1 him.
Yeah, well, maybe he's like, so. He says.
My lip goes up and I growl a little bit.
Yeah.
So
he's like, you could you could try to leave, but you're not going to get very far. You know there were Imperials meeting with the administrator, right? Well, they got a ship up there, a couple of TIE fighters. All it would take is a certain message saying smugglers or rebels
and I suppose,
are trying to leave.
I suppose you're the one who's going to supply that.
Michael, hold on. Sorry, what?
I suppose you're the one who's going to supply him with that information?
Doesn't have to be.
I suspect you're the one who's been a thorn in our side from this whole operation.
Says, well, let's just say there's not enough room on this moon for the both of us. You've been
okay, I'm gesturing toward the other 2, Dax and Griff, to go to the side. So if you want
to move to the side,
I'll take a half step backwards, like, should we take this outside?
And as you respond, and Dax, as you're moving to the side, you actually see, like, Niktos does not look away from Barada at all, but his gun hand immediately follows you. It's like it tracks you. Like,
2 of us.
Just as just Dax, right? Because Dax was moving.
I'm going too.
Right? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, around the other side.
I'm trying to persuade him to follow me, right? I want to say a couple of insulting things, like,
okay,
if you're Clatoonian enough.
Yeah. It's like, your mother was a cat.
You look more like a cat.
Let's take this outside. All right. So I want y'all just to melt into the the background if possible, and trying to get his attention on me. You betraying dog, is what I say.
Okay. So do either. Oh boy, what do we want to do here? I guess you could do either like coercion, or you could do persuasion.
Persuasion on us. Now I think we're
persuasion, sure. Now he has. Let me just take a look at his stuff here. Give me a second.
I want to flip a light side on this one or whatever too. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
Yep. He has. Okay. Oh, that's not bad.
I just kind of want to try to stealth past him, if possible. So.
All right. So this is going to be against 3 purple, but I'm also going to give you 2 boost dice for one for each of your companions here, because they do, pose a bit of a threat here. Yeah, absolutely. And let me just make sure.
Okay, flipping that light side or using the light side?
Yep.
What would that add, if anything? Just
so it would upgrade one of your greens to a yellow.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
And I won't use a dark side right now. So
bless you.
Yeah. No problem. So you go ahead and roll.
All right. Dadgum. 4 threat, 2 failures on the dark. I've got 4 successes and 1
advantage.
So basically,
so sounds like you succeed.
Yeah, and he had 3 advantages though, as far as like the comparison.
Sure. So, so what we'll say is, he definitely, his gun hand comes back, right, and it's pointing back at you, Barada, and he says, "I'll tell you what. we don't need to have any more beef. You just you let me leave with that ship, and we'll call it even.
That's a grade A beef we've got. Come outside.
Well, again, I thought we were outside.
No, you're still in the hangar bay.
I'm wanting him to
he
clear
says,
the
"No,
hangar bay a
no."
little bit so
How
y'all
did we
can.
get our
Yeah.
plane out?
He's
I mean,
like-
our ship out.
He's like, I think I'm fine right here where I am. Yeah, you guys, there's not. You would literally just like it's an open air thing, so you could just
It's like a Harrier
Sure,
jet.
right.
but okay, I see.
yeah.
Are we in a freaking missile launch tube? Kind of.
No, you're just in a open kind of picture it as like a almost
Like
like
the
an
Millennium
arena,
Falcon
right? But
taking
without a
off.
roof. Yeah,
Straight
yeah,
up.
yeah. Don't
Okay.
worry, you're good.
I thought we were inside of like a building. Outside of
Kind of,
building?
but only the walls. So
So I
you,
say,
he's not persuaded to leave
Okay.
the hangar.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he wants to stay here.
Okay.
well,
Could I
there's
try to
3 of
sneak
us
past
and one
him?
of him, is what I say.
What's that?
3 of us
Three
and
of
one of him.
Okay, but that's what whenever I say if he, whenever I look at him, yeah.
Are we within like close range, or are we like?
Oh yeah, yeah. The hangar bay is not that big, so yeah, you would be fairly close.
Yeah. So I want to draw my pistol. I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was giving y'all time to wing
Right.
to the
That's
side.
that's
Yep.
what I was.
And-
Yeah.
and
just
cross,
to the
and then-
side,
I'm talking to keep his attention on me, and then we
A
can.
bullet on each.
Yeah.
So the
Well-
fact that you you know that this is a tense situation, you're in combat,
Yeah.
you can use cool for your initiative. And so
Do I roll that also?
Yeah.
yes, you all three. If you intend to fight, yep.
I
But
intend
that's
to
what,
do
right when I
that.
say we get
Okay.
a grade A beef. That's when I'll level it and look at
3
him. and then
success. That's
pull that trigger.
3 success.
Yep.
Okay.
I got 4 successes and 2 advantages.
Now what I
I
roll
got
again?
3 successes.
Cool.
Cool.
So you roll cool, your cool skill,
I think
and you're
that's
just
your
rolling the
presence.
positive dice.
Okay. So cool is based
No,
off
well,
of
yeah,
what?
cool is based on presence, I believe.
Yes.
This is 2.
Yep. Yep. And if you have, do you have any ranks
2
in
advantage.
cool?
No. 2 advantage.
Okay. All right. So,
I will not let him take my baby, the Tortuga.
and so, what did you guys get for
7 says
your successes?
7 successes.
I got
and
4 and 4 successes.
And I
2
got a
advantages.
3 success.
You got 3 successes, and Dell, you got 7 successes. You said?
No. I just meant like all together. We've got 7 successes if you're totaling them. And
No,
No, not totaling it, just
Just give
individual,
yours
yeah.
because
I've
then
got 2. I've got 2
Ooh, okay.
advantages.
2
Not-
advantages, no
not success,
successes.
no
That still
success.
counts. That still counts.
Yep. Okay.
If I-
So,
My brain's running out. Do you, would that mean Eloy would go first?
It's
actually,
actually
hold up.
Let me look
at
slots.
this.
It's initiative.
It's yeah.
slot,
It's
so technically any of us could take it, right?
Yeah.
That's
so.
annoying.
So one of you guys gets to go first. So the way that the order goes is it's PC, so any of you, and then NPC, and then PC
both of
PC.
us. Cool.
Yep.
So Del, you want to take the first?
Actually,
Okay,
no,
you
Michael,
being
you said
the-
you got 3 successes, right?
Yes.
You had 1 advantage, and
I
yeah,
did
yeah,
not.
yeah. So it is.
This is a different-
No, sorry, I was looking at my dice here. Okay. So right now we have 3 dark side points and 3 light side points available, just so you know.
How's that math?
All right.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Eloy, did you intend, since you were kind of drawing down on him, did you want to take that first initiative?
Right. So I don't know if Del wants to take it because
I-
it's kind of like his
to me-
nemesis, right? So
Yeah, thematically, that's what I was going to say right after I said we got a grade A
Yeah.
beef. I had
Right.
said earlier that I'd already pulled my blaster pistol out. And
Yep.
That's,
I mean, I
Okay.
could shoot
that's
him.
when I would look at him, lock eyes, and then after saying that, pull the trigger. And then I'm sure that the other 2 light up, you know what I mean? Waiting to just hose
All
him
right.
down.
Fantastic. I love it. So here's what we're going to do. Yeah, so you can definitely make your attack. Now, this guy...
How are
so-
yawns contagious even through a screen?
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
How
After a
is this
day's work,
possible?
it's one gets tired.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I
No.
yawn after you yawn, and I don't understand how
It's
this dark
it's
magic
9.
yawns works.
It's 9:30. It's just how it is.
Okay.
So, just so you guys know, thematically or mechanically, I mean, this guy is a Nemesis, which means that typically Nemesis will have upgraded difficulty. So, just be prepared for that. So, you will make your attack. I think you are in. Yeah, so you would go roll against two. Actually, I'm going to flip a point. So against 2 reds for your difficulty.
Yeah.
1 red because he's got adversary 1, and then another red because I flipped the dark side point.
Okay.
And I will say, though, that you have also 2 boost dice because both your companions are like sort of flanking here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I got 4 agility, and then I got 2 on the light
Yep.
range.
So you'd roll 2 yellow and 2 green.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yep. And then
2 boost, and then 2 of the red.
2
which
boosts.
I have to roll that.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
twice. Okay. Okay, I've got.
I am green screen.
So far, my roll is 4 advantage and 4 successes. He's got, what is this again? The TIE fighter. That's
a disadvantage. Yeah.
disadvantage, and I'll roll again. So that's 3 disadvantage. Got 2 of them on that one. So basically,
And no failures. Okay.
I got 1 advantage and 4 successes on that one.
Okay. Cool. So, how many successes did you say again?
4.
4. Okay. So you're using what kind of weapon? A blaster pistol?
Yeah, blaster pistol. Yeah.
Okay. Does it have any?
Which
I forget if the blaster has weapon qualities that you can activate. Because I think you have 2 successes, but you would deal. What is it normally? 6 damage.
Yeah,
6,
6
7,
plus
8,
1
9,
per
10.
success. Yeah.
Yep. So you would deal 10
10.
wounds. But of course
Are we
he's
trying
got
to
some
kill this
soap.
guy?
Well,
I was gonna
Yeah.
turn on my stun setting.
you could, but I mean,
I guess not. You
No, it
full
ain't
on
time
shot
to
him.
stun him.
We're not tasing him. We're blowing holes in him.
he's got a little bit of armor here, but you definitely managed to get him a little bit. Okay. And how many advantages did you have, Del?
1.
You said 2? 1? Okay.
Well, his
Gotcha.
disadvantage offset. Yeah.
Okay.
I had 4
So if you have
originally.
1, then
Yeah, just 1.
yep. What we'll do then is, since he goes next, do you want to use your advantage to impose a disadvantage on him, a black dice, or do you want to give a boost to one of your companions when they
Yeah,
go?
I would think when I hit him, it probably surprised him, and I wanted to kind of knock his aim off or kind of stagger him a little bit, where he
I don't think he's surprised.
Okay.
I mean, I think
so
however that would work, whether it incurs a disadvantage for him or something like that, toward him aiming at any of us.
Okay.
Or maybe that would stop his sequence if he's going next.
See. So he's got that. He's going to go against 2 purple. You guys have 4 light side points. And I have 2 dark side. I'm not going to use a dark side on this. And I believe he gets a disadvantage from your thing there. Okay, so right now, because we're rolling against 2 purple, and I think he is going to take the aim maneuver, so he's going to add himself a boost. Okay, so here we go. He's going to aim back at you, Barata.
I could hack
Now, let's see. Okay, so you are lucky let's see here. These these 4. So that takes that. Okay. So he does not manage to hit you. I think probably what happens is he is like right as he like fires with this disruptor pistol, and these things are bad news, right? But he is I have to look at the things. I forget what
I'm diving.
what
I'm
Vicious
sure.
does. Yeah, but you manage to kind of like dodge out of the way, right? And I think that like the blast would like hit the
Oh, I think
hit
when
the
it
wall.
kind of knocked him askew and it shot, and I ducked out the way after shooting, and then it would
Hmm.
just leave this,
Yeah.
concussive force as it
Yep.
goes by and it explodes on the wall. You'll take him out.
Yeah.
Wait,
Now,
what is he
mechanically,
shooting?
he's shooting a
A
disruptor pistol,
disruptor.
which is
I'm
a really
looking it up
nasty
because
pistol. But
it's
he
not an
had
explosion.
two advantages. So what I'm going to say is that as you're kind of jumping out of the way, right, and his bolt goes wide and hits the wall, it kicks
Yeah.
up some dust. So there's going to be um, two disadvantage dice to the next
Gotcha.
player.
Yeah.
So
2
yeah,
disadvantage to whoever shoots next. Okay.
yeah, so 2 black dice. So PCs are up next. Who wants to
That
go
gun's
next?
small.
Disruptor?
Yeah, but it's really
Imagine
nasty.
this.
Freaking triangle.
Oh, it's
like
incredibly nasty.
the
It's
cricket.
like, is it like a grenade launcher?
No, this guy's
Basically?
this guy's got a big old like Desert Eagle style It
So
just
I'm gonna
means it
try.
has vicious, which I think cuts through soak. If I
I'm gonna.
remember
It looks like
correctly.
this.
No, it increases the crit.
Yeah.
It adds
this
40
not it?
points to the crit.
That's
Which
right.
is pretty
That
bad.
is one version. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I draw my gun with
Yep.
my quick draw
Okay.
ability.
Okay. So that's an incidental then, I believe, right?
Yes, and then I'm
Nice.
gonna use the maneuver to aim.
Yep.
So I
Give
get
yourself
a
a boost.
boost die. I got 2 boosts because the guys are helping, right? Because of the flanking
Yes.
thing? Yeah.
Yep. But you also have 2 setbacks because
2
of
setback, correct.
yeah.
And so because I have those setback, then I want to flip a light side point to
Yep.
improve my chances. And so what's
Absolutely.
my difficulty? 1 and 1? 1 purple, 1 red? Or are you upgrading that to 2?
No, it is 1 purple and 1 red because you're still within medium range. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. Yep.
All right. Let's go. Come on. Oh,
What?
geez.
Oh,
What a-
baby.
Well,
Dadgum.
there's a bunch
The
of
Okay.
triumph.
That's triumph.
It is a bunch of failures, but
yeah. So this takes out this success, takes out that success.
yeah.
There's no more successes. There's 2 advantages and a triumph.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
with my 2 advantages, well, there is.
That means you can take
triumph
another
there.
maneuver.
So I
So
could-
you could do something cool with
I
that
could
triumph.
do something to his gun, like to hit his gun instead of hitting
Yep.
him. Maybe disarm him or something.
Yeah.
Drops the weapon that they're wielding.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I just hit his weapon with the the shot
goes
doesn't hit
careening
him,
out of
but
his
it does
hand.
hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes flying off his hand, and I take the extra maneuver to.
Mhm.
Could I try and grab his gun, or is that nah? Well, it would push the gun
Well, I
away
could
from
say
me. It doesn't make
you
any
Kick
sense.
it
were
over
at
to your
medium
partner.
range.
To
So,
Griff. It slides at his feet.
If you were to say you use 1 maneuver for your aim, right?
Mhm.
If you used another maneuver to close into short distance, and then I think could you use a free maneuver as well with the triumph, or do you only get 2 total? I can't remember.
It's a cap of 2, absolute. I don't think you can.
Yeah. Okay.
blow past 2 maneuvers per round.
Right.
So but just I'll shoot a gun out of his hand,
Yeah.
hopefully in the
Yeah.
direction of Griff, and then I'm going to
Yep.
give those 2
Advantage.
to. I'll add it to whatever Griff does. I'll give him a boost. For
Now,
whatever he
Michael,
does.
I will say this: in the docking bay, there are like computers that would be used for like like
Loading and
maneuvering
unloading
cargo into bays and whatever.
cranes and
So,
crap.
and there'd be cranes and there'd be all kinds of stuff in there. So, if you want to try to use computers, you can, but you can also just straight up try to shoot at the guy if you want.
I mean, for one, do I see like any like a security droid, even if it's just like a droid with a gun?
No, there's no droids
Get
in
that
here
crane
right
and knock him
now.
off his feet.
Yeah.
Can I pick up his pistol?
Yeah. Well, if it's
So what I'm gonna say is, you were at medium range, so you would have to essentially use
a maneuver.
2 maneuvers to close from medium to you'd have to get to where his gun is. But then yes, if you wanted to make I'm gonna say you would have to make an athletics. I believe that's what it is, right? Athletics.
Yes.
To try to kind of leap in and grab his gun. So this is going to be against. Let's see. So you have 2. How many did you get? You gave him 2 boost for.
I think it just gives him the 1 boost.
Or just the 1 boost. Yeah. 1 boost
What
for
were you using?
Eloy. For what?
Oh, it's just using stat. There's not like the assist action.
Right, no. And then I'm going to flip a dark side point. So it is going to be right now against 1 purple, 1 red.
Flipping the light side.
Okay, so you upgrade yours. And I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, take these
you have skill points in athletics?
I do actually have 1 skill point, and I took a light side.
And then you upgraded the other one. Nice.
So, okay. So those are disadvantages, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and I can't see your other dice right now. I can only see
1
the
advantage.
Okay.
No.
Right now you have
okay.
3
based on that. Okay. There we go.
There we go.
So you have 2 successes. 1, 2.
I have
and so
1
take away...
advantage and 1 disadvantage. No, yes, I have 1
No.
advantage and 1.
2 successes and 1 advantage, right?
1 disadvantage.
Oh,
No,
yes.
2 successes and 1 disadvantage.
1 disadvantage, yeah. So yeah, because you have a total of 1, 2, 3 disadvantage and only 2 advantages. Yep, and one disadvantage. Okay, so
right.
Okay.
Yep. So you jump in, Michael, and you kind of leap in to get his gun, and you manage to grab it. But even though you're athletic, your athletics are probably more in like running from people, right? As who like after you hack something. So you land hard on the ground.
Why did I jump?
Because you had to.
Jump.
You had to jump to get it. If you wanted to be able, you
were
were running
Might as
in.
well.
Yeah, and as you land, your shoulder kind of smashes into the ground, and that disadvantage, you're going to take 1 point of strain.
Strain?
Yep. Strain is sort of like superficial before you use any wounds.
You fell on your
okay.
starship keys.
I think I'm at 2 actively.
2 strain, yeah, that's fine. What's your strain threshold?
13, I think.
Okay, so yeah, you got a ways to go. All right, and so we are back up to another PC slot again.
Okay.
So keep in mind that but you can go in whatever order if you guys want to. You want to try to shoot back at him with that disruptor?
Can I shoot it with the big disruptor, please?
Are you guys okay with that?
Well, see, I was just gonna bulldog run him and try to barrel him over, right? So right after I shot and I see that gun spiraling out of his hand, I'm taking.
Well, let's see what Dell does because keep in mind too that if he tackles him,
I could be there in
on
the tackle, and you could disrupt both of us. That'd be cool.
That would be a bad idea. I don't want to explode you. You're
No,
important.
Well, yeah. I'm bull
in
rushing.
keeping this
Yeah.
pistol.
Yeah. Why don't you do that? So you're gonna try to rush him. Okay. So I would say then make a brawl roll for me. And that's gonna be against a one purple and one red.
Yeah, it's personal. I want to get up in there.
Yep.
One purple
And
one red.
I think I'm gonna flip a
Versus
dark side
Archer.
point. So actually, take your so it's two reds instead of one purple, one red.
Okay, but I'm gonna flip a light side point
All right. Yep. So you would upgrade one of your greens to a yellow.
against two reds. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't respect.
Any negative dice or positive on the side? Boost. Okay.
No.
Here we go.
Wait, I have an advantage. Can I not give that to him as a?
I got one.
No, you had disadvantages.
One success,
Okay,
one
good.
advantage so far. One disadvantage,
Okay.
and or three disadvantages. So basically, I've got two disadvantages
success,
and one
but-
success.
One success, you got
Okay,
it. So at
okay.
least you do tackle him.
So
Yeah.
I'm
so
gonna shoot you. Oh,
I
no.
believe brawl. The damage I think is based on your brawn. Is that
Which is
right?
2.
Yep. So okay.
Yes,
So what
it is.
happens?
I'm snarling,
is
saliva's
Yeah.
popping out, and I'm trying to bite at him as they help.
right. You remember like in high school, right, the sports ball training, right, where you were like you would go in and you remember coach was like lead with your shoulder, not with your head, right, and so you go to knock him. But I mean he like as he was like looking for his gun, he sees you coming in and he kind of sets himself to almost to take your charge.
Take the brunt,
You
yeah.
definitely hit him, right? And it knocks him back. But you also take 2 strain as the effort of this. I mean, it's like,
I want to lift
truck
him off
hitting
his
a wall, right?
feet,
It's like,
yeah, and it would just
Yeah.
go straight down.
yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the effort of that definitely was took a lot out of you.
took the wind out of
um,
me and him at the same time.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yep. And so just so you know, as we go on, I will. So this was using the disadvantage that you had. That was imposing the strain. I won't necessarily call out the mechanics as much as we go along, but I am doing so in these at least the first few sessions so that we get a good grasp of the rules. But yeah, so that was awesome. So you are engaged with him now. You're in engaged range. So he is what is he gonna do now? Oof. Okay.
Arm
How do I
bar or
want to do
something?
this? I think he's going to he doesn't have his pistol on him, so he's going to attack you at this point, Del, because you're right on him, right? And so he's got claws, and he's
So
going
do
to try
I.
to claw at you here. Yep. And so I think he has.
We're both snapping at each other and growling and trying to gut each other.
Brawl. Wow! Holy
Little
crap!
MMA action.
This guy's good at what he does. Ooh.
Ugh,
All right.
I have lots
and
of
against
skins.
I bit off more than
standard
I can chew, I think.
Though I
Two,
don't know
well,
if
maybe.
Rick will give you a spin.
Let's see. So I think all right, so let me just make sure. So if he has brawl 3 and
The
brawn
fur's flying,
4,
fellas.
that means 3 yellow and
Not-
1 green
Not the first fight. It's our second, actually.
against 2 purple.
You can tell his personal barada. He's spittle's coming out and he's
All right.
snapping.
You might want to
He's-
move because I might accidentally explode.
Oh yeah,
Well, let's
but
see what
I can't hear
happens.
squat. All my rage and fury is just
I guess
focused.
point.
Tunnel
I guess
vision.
that's a good point.
Oh wow, you are so lucky. So I did get a triumph, but that was the only success that I got, and I got a
sweet.
failure. So it cancels out the success. So you're not going to take any advantage, or you're not going to take any damage. Now
Does he flip me over or
these
something?
Cancel. So yeah, what I'm gonna say I think is he manages to basically like
Reverse.
kind of like double arm like shove you back, right? So he shoves you back and you would fall prone. You
Dude,
trip over like there was like a spanner or something on the ground and you fall and you're like in a situation where yeah, you're definitely prone on the ground at this point.
yeah.
Now, uh,
He's back.
Light him up, fellas.
yeah, I
The
think that's
goober
it.
from the great
So,
beyond.
he has, so yeah, it's a PC slot next. So,
Can I
how do you
shoot
guys want to
him?
handle that?
When he
You
throws
want to
me
try to
off
shoot
of
him
him,
with
it's
your
perfect.
disruptor?
It's perfect. Just
Go for
Yeah.
it.
it's open
Go for
door.
it. Shoot him.
It's open
Yep.
season.
Stay
Griff.
here, cat.
And it's too
All
bad for
right.
him. He pushed you down because now he got a clear shot. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm just
I got the
trying to make
exact.
sure this cat doesn't. Okay, no, you're staying right here. I'm gonna take the aim maneuver,
All right. So you add a boost,
which
and
adds a
then you do
boost.
your ranged light.
Is it range? I thought it'd be heavy.
No, it's
No,
still a ranged light weapon because it's a
Oh,
pistol,
that's
not
fine.
a
it's a
yeah.
pistol.
And
Yep.
I'm
And you
gonna take
have
a light side.
you're gonna flip a light side. All right. I'm gonna flip
Yeah.
a dark side, so it's against two purples.
Two
Nope,
purples.
two reds. Two reds. Sorry,
Mhm.
two reds.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I don't. That's not good.
Oh yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That it?
And yeah, is that your roll? Oh no. Okay, you
I
still got
guess
to roll.
so.
Okay.
No, you can't get it there, cat. Oh, I got trying.
All right. Bring them all in so
I'll
we can
bring
see
'em
them
all
on the
in.
camera. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Ooh,
So
nice.
triumph counts as a success.
But
So
there's
you don't,
two
but
failures
your
right there.
yeah. So your two failures count out your two successes. Your yellow and your red cancel each other out, so you're left with
Because you
just
got
two advantages.
Yep.
And a triumph.
Yeah.
Two advantages
And a triumph, yes. And so a triumph can be used for a lot of cool things. You can't inflict an injury because you didn't deal any damage because you didn't hit him. Let me see.
I'm kind of like shooting in the direction of my ship, aren't I?
Kind of, but here's what you notice.
Or wait,
you
I'm
notice
shooting parallel
that
to it. Wait, don't
So
I get to
it-
narrate my triumph?
yeah, if you want to, but I was going to tell you, you notice up above you that there are there's like I said before, there's lots of like stuff up there. There's cranes, there's all kinds of stuff. So if you want to keep in mind that with an
Okay,
advantage or with a
so-
triumph, you can notice a really important detail.
Tell me, I'm gonna say something, tell me if this is in the lines of
Yeah.
what would happen with
Mhm.
triumph. I shoot, but because I probably never shot something as powerful before, I kind of like miss and it hits like a box swinging from like a crane and it like makes like dust or debris fall down
Mhm.
on top of them. Would that be possible?
So what I'll say is you could basically have it so that you shoot the disruptor pistol and it ricochets off of the essentially the armor of your ship and it
Wait.
hits.
I'm actually
Okay.
shooting parallel to the ship. Not I
Okay.
went around like to the right
So-
and shoot this way. I believe is what I did.
Okay. So then it would ricochet off like like
Whoa.
a tool or a box or a pipe or something and what it does is it hits like it kind of severs a cable that was holding like a crate of goods or something and so that starts to fall down onto his head and what I'll do is I'll say that that has put him in a position where Eloy, if you're going to shoot at him, you can upgrade one of your dice because of that.
Sure.
So, right now, we've got 4 light side points, 2 dark side points.
Oh, also-
and
Didn't I get another 2 boosts from my comrades?
no, because that was the initial. That was the
But,
initial roll. You guys were flanking him.
Eloy got it. And this
Not
is
on
my
the
first
last
time
shot.
shooting him. Yeah.
I think the
got it on this shot,
situation.
but the situation may
Yeah,
have changed.
I'm
the
pretty sure I
situation has
just forgot,
changed.
man.
No, the situation's changed. I'll tell you if you get a boost dice.
I'm pretty sure kids
Yeah.
in my map. Just forgot.
But so it's going to be against one purple and one red so far.
So it's going to be against one purple and one red. So
Yeah.
I am going to use that maneuver to move to short range with the
Yep.
guy to decrease my difficulty. So then it
Okay,
becomes
so just one red. Mhm.
Yeah. And with the upgrade that you gave me, I think that's it. That's it.
Mhm.
No boost and no disadvantage, guys. So
Right.
I'm gonna try and shoot him, see what happens. Oh no. Well, that's actually one
Success and
success
one
and
advantage.
one advantage. So I hit him
Okay.
for 7 points,
Okay.
and that advantage I'm gonna give to Dell's next check.
Okay.
I mean, isn't it
Or-
just the
or
next person
whoever.
who goes?
Whoever goes
Well,
next. Right?
yeah, that's true. The next person
Yeah.
who goes.
So whoever goes
I
next.
wish I
Yeah.
could.
You want to go next?
No, I
Or-
mean, I
Oh, no.
wish I could, but I'm gonna let Del. If he wants to.
Okay, you're gonna let Del go. All right. So Del, because you were prone, you would have to spend one maneuver to get back up onto your feet. If
How
you
many
want to do
maneuvers
that.
do we get
yeah.
per turn?
Two.
Two. Well,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then I couldn't
Yep.
have aimed and moved, could I?
Normally,
Wait, that's
you
the
normally
turn,
get
sorry.
one. You can get an
Yeah.
extra maneuver by spending strain,
Right.
or if you get advantage. I should have actually done that before I shot. I should have aimed. for
Aimed.
do
Yeah, that's
strain,
okay.
but I forgot. Yeah.
That's all right. All right.
Okay.
And keep in mind too that you can use advantages to reduce strain if you need to. So
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely using strain to do 2 maneuvers. One to flip over
Right.
and then crawl on all fours as fast as I can, just scampering over to get because he's been knocked down, knocking the
Yep.
boxes out, and then going back to what I was doing, which is basically like a primal rage
What?
type attack,
All right.
a berserker.
Charlie, you're being a problem.
Okay.
Anyway.
Get out of
Cool.
Real nice.
Yep. And
I
so
wave goodbye to the game.
one purple and one red, and then you have an advantage from Eloy's roll. So you have a blue dice, and then your brawl.
Okay.
Right, because you were using
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
fine.
fists or claws or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Wow, I did actually really good.
Okay.
3 successes, 2 advantages against 3 disadvantages. So 3
Okay.
successes and 1 disadvantage.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty good.
So I think if you were using claws, those are your was that 5 damage, I think, normally.
Yeah.
Is that what it says on your sheet? Did it give you a damage rating for those or no?
Well, I do have 5 written over the side, so I'm thinking. That's
Okay,
what it
yeah.
is.
So then so that's fine. So you would ultimately, it sounds like, have 3 advantages or 3 successes, so 5, 6, 7, 8 damage, but 1 disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
So that cuts through that, so that puts him there.
Maybe the
Okay.
debris still falling and 1 clocks me while I'm doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so what I'll do then is he's going to try to get up, and I think he's going to try, or actually you kind of got on him, so
Yeah.
he's grappling with you, so he's going to try to,
Reverse it.
yeah, kind of reverse it. I'm going to use the disadvantage that you had as a boost for him.
Yep.
And then, yeah, so we got that, and then we're gonna use this roll against that. All right, now, so right now, that's against 2 purple. We have a, I have 3 yellows and a green because he's really good at brawling. Against only 2 purple. You guys do have 4 light side points, so if you want to, you can
I've
flip one
given
to
up on
upgrade.
trying to count these things.
Difficulty.
Yeah. So if you do, you want to flip a light side to upgrade his difficulty a little bit?
You
Or
probably
no?
do, because he's gonna hit Dell otherwise, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we're back to 3 and 3. So that's good. And I think, yeah, there's not really. Oh no, and I'll give him a setback as well because he's still within all that debris. So let's see what we've got here.
Don't forget I shot that box.
Yep. Yeah, that's what that was for. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 3. All right, so we have 1 success. And oh no, we have 2 successes and 2 advantages. We need. So if it says
Yeah.
critical 3, does that mean
cursed.
that it
Probably
adds
needs
30 to the
3.
crit, or does it means he needs 3 to activate it? I think it means he
Crit.
needs 3
It
to activate,
probably
right?
means that's the activation number. Yeah.
That's what I think, but
Yeah,
let me
because
didn't
otherwise
make
it would have to be like vicious or something to add to the crit roll.
Yeah,
Right? I
you're
think
right.
that just tells you the number of advantages
Mm-hmm.
you need to trigger a crit 3, crit 4 in the
Yep,
table
okay.
is the
So
number
he
that you need.
can't. So he can't crit against you, but he does have 2 boosts. So right now, Dell, he deals 5, 6, 7 damage.
Gotcha.
Or 7 wounds, but of course you have your soak, so that does reduce some of that. As he kind of like comes up and he kind of like punches you, right, and you kind of your head slams down a little bit against the floor, but you guys are kind of brawling there, right?
Oh yeah, he punches me and hits off the floor and bounces back.
Yeah.
See it.
Yep. But so these two are grappled with each other. Now, what I'm gonna
It was a
do
hard
is
hit,
with the
fellas.
two. Yeah, with the advantage that he had, I'm going to impose a setback on the next player's roll.
That would be me, I believe.
Well,
Yeah, it's up
if
to
you
you.
want.
Because it was one person,
Yeah.
then the enemy, and then Dell, and then me, right?
Well, it doesn't follow a specific order. It could be
I
Dell
know.
again. It
Could
could
I
be
go
you.
next?
You're
But
me, yeah.
but yeah, if you want to, go for it. Yeah. You gonna shoot him with
So
your disruptor
I
again
think
or no?
because how would I take 2 consecutive aim actions, so the focused aims?
By taking 2 strain.
Yep. So you would
2
take
strain.
add 2
I'm gonna
strain.
do
Yep.
that. I'm gonna add
Yep.
2 strain. I'm
Yep.
gonna take the 2 consecutive aim actions.
Aim actions. That
Yep,
gives
so
you
that adds
I'm
2
gonna
boosts.
flip a light side point.
Okay, so that will give you upgrade one of your dice.
Yep, I did. Do I have any
Yep.
dice from
You have 1 black
Umbra or
dice.
Dell? From Umbra or
No,
Dell? They give me.
no, you don't, because they were next. So you have 1 setback from this guy's advantages. Then right now you're at 1 purple and 1 red, but I'm also gonna flip a point, so upgrade it to 2 red.
All right, this is a big
All
roll.
right. Yes,
Shooting
it
a grenade
is.
pistol.
Well, a disruptive pistol, that's
Oh
for
no.
sure. Oh,
Oh.
despair. All right. So a despair does count as a failure as well. So 1, 2, 3, 3 failures, I believe.
3 failures. Why?
Because your black dice is a failure.
These 2 cancel each other out.
Yes.
Yeah. So wait, can you keep all of them together for a minute?
I
So
forgot what I
we
rolled
have-
on this.
cancel themselves out.
That's 1, 2, 3. So you have 3 successes, right?
I rolled
then-
something on here. No, this was
Okay.
blank. Sorry.
Right. And then you have 1 failure on the black dice, 1 failure for your red dice, and another failure for your red dice. So all your
So
successes
only
cancel
has-
out.
Only
right?
has 2 advantages, right? That's all he has.
Yeah. Yep. So you have 2 advantages. So
2
you don't hit
advantages
him.
and a despair.
And a despair. Yep. What I'm gonna say is that the disruptor pistol, you shoot right, but
I
you
might be
don't
hitting
manage
you,
to
though.
hit him. No. But what's gonna happen is
Starts to
the
overheat.
disruptor pistol, the energy pack in the disruptor pistol
Yeah.
like shorts and is dead, so you can't shoot it anymore. You have your own pistol, obviously, that you can use, but yeah, that's what I'm using the despair for. But you can pass on the advantage to the next
Yeah, I'm gonna
Easy,
do
so
that.
Dax, yeah.
Wait, I have 2 advantage, right?
You
Well,
broke it.
Yeah,
just
but
That means
I
I
think
could take another maneuver, right?
no. That's a
no,
maximum
you can
hard limit of
maximum
2.
of two two
Okay.
maneuvers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So
Cool.
I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to take the 2 strain, and I am going to take 2 maneuvers. I'm at short
Okay.
range.
You're
There's
double
one
aim.
black. There's one black die in play still, right?
No,
No.
not
Okay.
right now. No. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. There is because they're grappling.
Because they're grappling. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then because I'm at short range, it's only 1 red
Yep.
difficulty.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take Michael's boost plus
Mhm.
2 actions, 2 maneuvers to
All right, I'll let him.
Yep. To
aim,
add your.
Okay, I'll get my
Yep.
shoes on.
and
So
then
you
I
get
want
my
to
3
headphones
flip.
died.
boost dice.
I
Hold
want to
on, I
flip.
can't hear you because my headphones died.
I want to flip
Oh, yeah.
So I need
another
to switch my audio.
another
So there may
dark
be an
side
echo
point.
now. Very sorry.
Yeah, you want to flip a light side point to upgrade your
Yes,
thing?
We-
to
Okay.
upgrade my thing.
And then I'm gonna flip a dark side point,
Trying to
so add a
hear you.
purple back
Add a
in
purple
there.
to the mix. Okay,
Sorry
and
if there's an
I'm gonna
echo. Headphones
I'm gonna
died.
flip. I'm gonna flip the selector to stun as an
Okay.
incidental.
Okay,
So I'm
gotcha.
trying. I'm shooting with the intent to stun in case I hit Dell.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's not much better tasing Dell.
No, but that's not bad. 1, 2, 3.
You get 1 success and
Yeah.
2 successes and 2 achievement. Yeah.
And so that's
2
2
successes,
successes and 2
2 advantages, right?
advantages. Okay, so with those 2
Yeah.
successes, that would be 8 points of strain damage, and his
Mhm.
armor counts. So the
Mhm.
armor soaks.
Yep.
Uh,
And can you activate any weapon qualities with your 2
no,
advantage
I,
or no?
no, I would
Okay.
need 3.
3. Okay.
So
Hey, guys.
I did my 2 maneuvers. I did it. So
How-
I'll just pass an advantage to whoever goes next.
You said you dealt how many points of strain?
8
8. Okay. So
minus soak.
got it.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I gotta run somewhere
Okay.
for probably 10 minutes. If y'all are going, but you can still play or just roll for me, you know?
Yeah, well, if you want, since we're running overtime anyway, if you have like a minute, you can take a cinematic action.
Okay,
In
gotcha.
fact, what we'll do is we'll flip a light side point, and you can narrate how you at least overcome this guy.
I still want to fight him.
Okay.
I know,
Like,
but we're at the end of the time.
So we started.
Yeah, it's
So, Dax hit him with.
yeah. Dax hit him with the stun. Now it didn't fully stun him, but he's definitely disoriented. And since you can take the next action, if you want to kind of cinematically narrate that into a way
yeah.
of
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. When he hits him, I can I jump on him again, and his armor and everything's kind of a little static shock, and I bark real loud as I touch it again, and it throws a little bit of adrenaline in me, and then I just sock him one across it and knock him out like on the ground. You know what I mean? And his head kicks back and then he just rolls over, and his eyes roll up, and his tongue goes out the side of his mouth.
Awesome. And then as that happens, you guys run over to your ship. You know, the boarding ramp comes down, right?
Yeah.
You kind of jump up. I guess who's normally the pilot? Is that Dax?
Yes.
Yeah. So Dax would jump in the seat. Maybe Griff would jump in the whatever. Yeah. Yeah, and you jump in that, and you guys kind of right. You take up out of the thing. You take off. You go up into orbit. And just as you kind of get into orbit, you start to get a comm signal, but you also feel your ship rock as you realize like you got hit by fire from somewhere, and your klaxons are going doot 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 as you got fired upon, and that's where we'll end the session
Jeez.
today.
Nice.
Great game, guys. Great game.
Awesome,
Awesome.
thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Got to run, but
No worries.
yeah.
That's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Excellent.
Sounds good, Del.
Great
Take it
game.
easy.
That's it.